What ancient wisdom lies hidden in the simple act of tying a red thread around one's left wrist, and how did the great spiritual master Paramahansa Yogananda understand this sacred practice that has been passed down through countless generations of seekers? The crimson thread that adorns the left wrist carries within its delicate fibers a profound spiritual significance that transcends mere superstition or cultural tradition. When Paramahansa Yogananda, the revered guru who brought the ancient science of Kriya Yoga to the Western world, spoke of this practice, he revealed layers of meaning that connect the physical realm to the subtle energies that govern our spiritual evolution. This seemingly simple ritual, practiced across various spiritual traditions, particularly within Hinduism and certain esoteric schools, represents a bridge between the material and the divine, a constant reminder of our connection to the cosmic forces that shape our destiny. The left wrist, according to Yogananda's teachings, serves as a crucial energy center where the flow of prana, or life force, can be both received and regulated. The ancient yogis understood that the human body is not merely a collection of flesh and bone, but rather a sophisticated network of energy channels known as nadis, through which the vital force moves to sustain both physical health and spiritual awareness. The left side of the body, in particular, is associated with the ida nadi, one of the three primary energy channels that run along the spine. This channel is connected to the lunar energy, the receptive, cooling, and introspective aspects of our being that allow us to turn inward and connect with the deeper dimensions of consciousness. When a red thread is tied around the left wrist with proper intention and understanding, it serves as more than mere ornament or protective charm. Yogananda taught that the color red itself carries specific vibrational qualities that resonate with the root chakra, the foundational energy center located at the base of the spine. This chakra, known in Sanskrit as Muladhara, governs our sense of security, grounding, and connection to the earth element. The red thread thus becomes a conduit for channeling this grounding energy while simultaneously serving as a reminder of our spiritual aspirations and commitments. The practice of wearing a red thread on the left wrist can be traced back thousands of years to the Vedic traditions of ancient India, where it was known as the kalava or moli. In these traditions, the thread was not merely tied by anyone, but was blessed by a spiritual teacher or during sacred ceremonies, imbuing it with specific intentions and spiritual energy. Yogananda, drawing from this rich heritage while adapting the teachings for modern seekers, emphasized that the true power of the red thread lies not in the thread itself, but in the consciousness and devotion with which it is worn and the spiritual practices that accompany it. The master taught that when we tie the red thread around our left wrist, we are creating a physical anchor for our spiritual intentions. Just as a sailor drops anchor to prevent his ship from drifting with the currents, the red thread serves to anchor our consciousness to our highest aspirations, preventing us from being swept away by the turbulent waters of worldly distractions and negative influences. This physical reminder becomes particularly powerful during meditation and prayer, when the gentle pressure of the thread against the skin can serve as a focal point for concentration and a reminder to maintain awareness of the divine presence within. In Yogananda's understanding, the left wrist also corresponds to the heart center, as the energy pathways that run through this area are directly connected to the Anahata chakra, the fourth energy center located at the heart. This connection explains why many practitioners report feeling a sense of emotional balance and increased compassion when wearing the red thread with proper awareness. The thread serves as a constant reminder to keep the heart open to divine love and to approach all interactions with kindness and understanding. The ritual of tying the red thread is itself a form of meditation and prayer. Yogananda emphasized that the act should be performed with complete mindfulness, preferably during the early morning hours when the mind is naturally more receptive to spiritual influences. As the thread is wound around the wrist, the practitioner should focus on their deepest spiritual aspirations, perhaps repeating a sacred mantra or offering a heartfelt prayer for guidance and protection. This conscious engagement transforms what might otherwise be a mechanical action into a powerful spiritual practice that sets the tone for the entire day. The number of times the thread is wound around the wrist also carries significance in Yogananda's teachings. Traditionally, the thread is wrapped 7 times, corresponding to the 7 main chakras or energy centers in the body. Each wrap represents the awakening and harmonization of these energy centers, creating a complete circuit of spiritual energy that flows from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. As each wrap is made, the practitioner can focus on the corresponding chakra, visualizing it glowing with divine light and spinning in perfect harmony. Beyond its role as a spiritual anchor and reminder, the red thread serves as a form of protection according to Yogananda's understanding of subtle energy dynamics. The master taught that we are constantly surrounded by various forms of energy, both positive and negative, and that our spiritual practices help us to attract beneficial influences while repelling harmful ones. The red thread, when worn with proper consciousness and accompanied by regular meditation and devotional practices, creates a subtle energy field around the wearer that serves as a shield against negative vibrations and psychic disturbances. This protective aspect of the red thread is not based on superstition, but rather on the scientific understanding of energy fields and vibrations that Yogananda brought to his teachings. Just as a radio antenna can be tuned to receive specific frequencies while filtering out others, the red thread, when properly consecrated and worn with spiritual awareness, helps to tune our personal energy field to higher vibrations while providing some measure of protection against lower, more chaotic energies that might otherwise disturb our peace and spiritual progress. The practice of wearing the red thread also serves as a form of spiritual discipline or sadhana. By committing to wear the thread and maintain awareness of its significance, the practitioner develops the quality of consistency and dedication that is essential for spiritual growth. Yogananda often emphasized that spiritual progress comes not from dramatic experiences or sudden revelations, but from the patient, consistent application of spiritual principles in daily life. The red thread becomes a tool for developing this consistency, as its presence serves as a constant reminder to maintain spiritual awareness throughout the day. In the context of Yogananda's broader teachings about the science of religion, the red thread represents the universal principles that underlie all genuine spiritual practices. While the specific form of the practice may vary between different traditions and cultures, the underlying principle of using physical objects and rituals to support spiritual development is found in virtually every religious and mystical tradition throughout history. The red thread thus becomes not just a Hindu practice, but a universal tool for spiritual development that can be adapted and understood by seekers from any background. The master also taught that the red thread serves as a means of connecting with the spiritual lineage or Guru Parampara from which the practice originates. When we tie the thread with proper understanding and reverence, we are not practicing in isolation, but are connecting ourselves to the countless generations of spiritual seekers who have used this same practice to deepen their connection with the divine. This connection to the spiritual lineage provides both inspiration and support as we draw upon the accumulated spiritual energy and wisdom of all those who have walked the path before us. For those who follow Yogananda's teachings specifically, The red thread can serve as a reminder of the guru-disciple relationship and the importance of surrender and devotion in spiritual life. The thread becomes a symbol of the invisible cord that connects the sincere seeker with their spiritual teacher, a reminder that we are never truly alone on the spiritual path, but are always supported by the love and guidance of those who have realized the truth we seek. The practice of wearing the red thread also cultivates the quality of humility, which Yogananda considered essential for spiritual progress. By wearing this simple, inexpensive thread rather than elaborate jewelry or expensive ornaments, we remind ourselves that true spiritual wealth lies not in material possessions, but in the development of divine qualities such as love, compassion, wisdom, and inner peace. The thread serves as a constant reminder to value the eternal over the temporary, the spiritual over the material. As we go about our daily activities, with the red thread adorning our left wrist, it serves as a bridge between our spiritual practice and our worldly responsibilities. Rather than viewing these as separate or conflicting aspects of life, the thread reminds us that every moment offers an opportunity for spiritual growth and service. Whether we are working, studying, caring for family members, or engaging in social activities, the gentle presence of the thread encourages us to maintain awareness of our deeper purpose and to approach all activities as forms of spiritual practice. The red thread also serves as a tool for developing mindfulness and present moment awareness. Throughout the day, as we notice the thread or feel its gentle pressure against our skin, we are reminded to return our attention to the present moment and to the divine presence that is always available to us here and now. This practice of returning to awareness, supported by the physical reminder of the thread, gradually strengthens our capacity for sustained meditation and spiritual awareness. In Yogananda's understanding, the ultimate purpose of all spiritual practices, including the wearing of the red thread, is to realize our true nature as souls made in the image of God. The thread serves as a stepping stone on this journey, a helpful tool that supports our efforts to transcend the limitations of ego consciousness and experience the unlimited joy and freedom of our divine nature. As our spiritual understanding deepens and our direct experience of the divine grows stronger, we may find that our dependence on external supports like the red thread naturally diminishes, but the practice continues to serve as a beautiful expression of our devotion and a means of inspiring others who are beginning their own spiritual journey. The secret of the red thread on the left wrist, as revealed through Yogananda's teachings, lies not in any magical properties of the thread itself, but in the consciousness, devotion, and spiritual understanding that we bring to the practice. When worn with proper awareness and accompanied by sincere spiritual effort, this simple red thread becomes a powerful tool for transformation, protection, and spiritual growth. It serves as a constant reminder of our highest aspirations, a bridge between the material and spiritual dimensions of existence, and a symbol of our eternal connection to the divine source from which we have come and to which we shall ultimately return. Through this understanding, the ancient practice of wearing the red thread reveals itself as a profound spiritual science, perfectly suited to support the modern seeker in their quest for truth, peace, and divine realization.